America is out of control. I did have a salmonella poisoning. I'm pretty sure I got it from the onion outbreak. That ain't happening because people still selfish, yo. Y'all need to be ready. We need to be ready. We should be linking up without even actually saying anything to each other. Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? And I remember sitting there and just kind of being very silent. Know that the other nations are not our friends. There's a level one Edomite who's ready to take it there. You know what I'm saying? It was just a misunderstanding. Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Excuse how I look right now. I'm in the bed. It's almost 8 o'clock. And I literally just woke up from a nap, just from being completely exhausted the past few days. I did have a salmonella poisoning. I'm pretty sure I got it from the onion outbreak. If you aren't familiar, there has been an onion outbreak across the U.S. where yellow, white, and red onions from Chihuahua, sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, Mexico, have been contaminated with salmonella. So I think the company that distributes, yes, the company I think is called ProSource. That's who distributes them. But they basically said if you have onions and they don't have a label on them, you're not sure where they came from, so just toss them. And literally I had sliced some onions up for a salad because I love onions on my salad, and so do my kids, my entire family for the most part. So I sliced some onions up, made a fresh salad for like a side salad for dinner, had just a side salad with my dinner with a bunch of onions on top, and the very next day I was down for the count. My husband had a little bit of the same symptoms that I did have. He said he literally only had like 2 little onions, so his was not as bad as mine, but yeah, I had like chills, and I didn't have a fever. I had the runs. We're all adults here. And I just was like lethargic. I couldn't eat anything for about 5 days. No liquids, no nothing. I was just feeling pretty awful. So I'm really thankful that it wasn't worse than I guess most people who like ate a large amount of onions, vomiting and things like that. But yeah, I was definitely sick. So if you have onions from the company ProSource, or you don't know where they came from, please throw them out so you don't get sick. But that's not why I turned the camera on. I turned the camera on because just a little while before I took my nap, I watched the documentary 4 Hours at the Capitol. If you're not familiar with that documentary, it just basically discusses the Capitol riots that happened. Were they this year? I think they were last year. No, they were this year. I was gonna say I'm ashamed to say, but I'm not, because I heard about it, obviously. I read the stories briefly, and I was aware that it happened, but I didn't know the extent of what happened. And that's because I have gone literally from someone who was very in the know, someone who always knew what was going on in the world, knew every single news cycle, agenda. Like, I watched every single news show from top to bottom, day and night, from the time I woke up till the time I went to sleep. I'm just not that person anymore, just because I feel like the media they have an agenda, they're full of shit, and for the most part, not every media source. There are still independent news organizations who will give it to you straight, but I just feel like the mainstream media is full of shit. They are equally culpable in the suffering of our people because they don't report the real deal. They report whatever or whoever is pushing them to further their agenda. That's just my personal opinion. Getting sidetracked. So I watched the documentary, and I was just like, It made me so angry. Like, I literally felt my blood pressure rise. I literally felt like my blood was boiling. Like, I literally was so angry. And I wasn't angry because they were attacking the Capitol. Because I also watched another documentary. I'll put it on the screen, but it was a 9/11 documentary. And it was talking about basically the entire, what led up to 9/11, starting from the Cold War all the way up to the after effects of 9/11. And I remember watching that documentary. I watched it like a couple days ago. It wasn't that long ago. But I remember watching it and feeling like, I'm a New Yorker. If you didn't know that, I was raised in Brooklyn, New York, born and bred. And 9/11 affected me very much. I remember being on my first day or my second day at Kingsborough Community College. And if you don't know anything about Kingsborough Community College, the college is literally on the beach. So you can literally go from like a part of the college, open the door, and literally be sitting on the beach. Like, it is so cool, and things that you don't realize how cool they are, and you take advantage, or you don't realize how good you have it. But that was just like a very cool experience. So the college is literally on the beach. So across the water, you could see the Twin Towers. And I remember being in class and my teacher saying, my professor saying, a plane has hit the Twin Towers, and looking across the water and seeing the smoke. And I remember how frightened I was, and how I think you go into a state of shock in a little bit, where you like, there's this like, there's this unknown. There's this, you don't know what's going to happen next. Like, you don't know why this is happening. You don't know what's going to happen next. You're genuinely afraid. And I remember getting on the bus to go home, and the bus was packed full of people saying like just their theories on what was going on. And I remember sitting there and just kind of being very silent, and kind of just being in a daze, and being very afraid, and then coming home and not knowing where my mom was. This was a year before she passed. So not knowing where she was, and not knowing, I had gotten home at maybe like somewhere in the early afternoon, and she didn't get home till about 8 o'clock, and not knowing where my mom was, and being very afraid. And I remember not being able to sleep much that night, and then several nights after that, and waking up in the middle of the night in like a sweat every time I heard an airplane. For years after that, even after I moved out of New York City, I remember being in my new life, in my new house, with my now husband and our young children at the time, and hearing planes fly over our subdivision, and still looking up and looking around, trying to figure out where it was coming from. And it just sounded so very loud. As a New Yorker, I still very much had PTSD for a very long time about 9/11, and just the after effects, and how it affected me, and how it affected me as a New Yorker, how it affected me as a person. But watching that documentary and seeing how this war started, and really sympathizing with the people of Afghanistan and Iraq, and knowing the lies that invaded their country for America's continued strive to be number one in the world. Even though as an Israelite, I know that the other nations are not our friends, it really just made me sympathize with them, because America is out of control. That's the point that I'm trying to get to. How we, and I'm gonna correct that and say we, because even though I'm American born and I live in America, it doesn't make me an American. I'm not an American. I'm an Israelite. And America is disgusting in the way that they suck people dry and suck countries of their resources, and they are predators in the way that they stomp on other people's rights, other people's means of living by any means necessary for their own selfish purposes. And that leads me back to what I was talking about with the 4 hours at the Capitol. And I'm watching this documentary and I'm seeing all of these racist, disgusting Edomites, these animals, say this is our country, and basically talking about their way of life and their rights and how people are trying to take them away. And I even saw black people there, y'all. I saw, and I count 3 black people. Even one black person was featured in the documentary, and it listed him as a preacher. It didn't specify whether that was his way of thinking or not, but why would you be there if like you weren't in support of it? Like, why? It just made me so angry, because as a people, a lot of us hate ourselves so much that we would align ourselves with the worst of the worst of the worst type of Edomite. The worst. And then you have these Edomites who are literally talking about this is their country. We all know this is not their country. But at this point, who gives a shit? Because this is not my land. So it's just like, I'm here because this is kind of where it like, shit, ain't nowhere for me to go any damn way. I can't go to London. I can't go to this. I can't go to that, because I'm hated everywhere because of who I am. So I'm just here because this is what's familiar. But these people, I'm in my bed, in my house, under my covers, very comfortable on a Sabbath day, which brings me so much joy and makes me feel so comfortable. It's the one day where I can just rest and know that the Most High gave this day for me, for my peace of mind, to clear my anxiety, to be at peace. He's showering his love on me on that day. That's just how I feel about Sabbath. It's a great day for me. I look forward to my Saturdays. And a part of me did it to myself because I shouldn't have watched that on a Saturday. And I felt under attack in my own house, in my own bed, in my own sanctuary, under the Most High's guidance and arms. I felt under attack. And I felt under attack because you never know. Sorry, I had to stop for a second. My husband needs to use the bathroom and my kids were running around like crazy. I don't even remember where I was. I think I was just saying that all Edomites across the board are dangerous, but there's a level 1 Edomite who's ready to take it there. You know what I'm saying? Who's at the very top level dangerous. And that's what I saw in that documentary, the level 1 Edomites. It literally just made me want to bear arms. It made me want to prepare myself for them trying to steal my rights, my right to live as the Most High gave me the opportunity to do. Because right below them taking their country back and making America great again, which is code for get all the niggers and spics and whoever else out or kill them all, going to the Capitol, doing riots and things like that. The next thing is attack on Black folk brazenly. They've done that already in some instances, in most instances. I mean, I'm not going to go into all of that, but y'all know, killing our Black men in the streets, raping our women. Don't be sleep, because they sure is awake and ready to take back their country. So you better be ready to defend who the Most High made you, to defend who you are, your rights, your values, according to the Most High, according to the Bible. The attack manifests itself in storming the Capitol, talking shit and being racist and still lynching people, killing people in the streets and whatnot. But next, it's going to be in your home. It's already manifested itself in that. Botham Jean, Breonna Taylor, they're storming our homes down. Okay? That shit is going to become more and more regular. If you can go up to the Capitol building of the United States, one of the most, should have been the most, one of the most secure places, okay? Just as much security as they have at the White House, they should have had at the Capitol building. Now imagine your house with no security or minimal security, if you have some ADT or some shit like that. Motherfuckers get together and do some modern day KKK shit and throw some shit in your house, storm your house, kill the women and children, rape them, whatever. That's next. So when I say be ready, y'all need to be ready. We need to be ready. Y'all need to be ready. We need to be ready as a community. And that's why Hebrew Israelite nation building is so important. And that's why it pisses me off going into something totally different. That's why it pisses me off as a Israelite when I see so much infighting between y'all need to be ready. We need to be ready as a community. And that's why Hebrew Israelite nation building is so important. And that's why it pisses me off going into something totally different. That's why it pisses me off as a Israelite when I see so much infighting between as a community. And that's why Hebrew Israelite nation building is so important. And that's why it pisses me off going into something totally different. That's why it pisses me off as a Israelite when I see so much infighting between our brothers and sisters, or for stupid shit, or for, well, you believe that this part of the Bible is this, and you believe this part of the Bible is that, and I believe in the New Testament, and I don't believe in the New Testament, and this and the third and whatnot. Like, bro, at the end of the day, we know as Israelites, the Most High made us the chosen, and that's what it should be, period. We can differ in how we interpret the law, because nobody really has the true answer. We just do the best that we can. But at the end of the day, your brother should be your brother. And you should never be trying to disrespect your brother, period. Okay? Because at the end of the day, when they come for us, they're coming for us as a nation, as a whole. They're not coming just for Tisha. They're not coming for Rebecca. They're not coming for Isaac or Jeremiah or Derek down the block. They coming for all of us. As a woman, when I go out as an Israelite sister, I should never be afraid if there are black men in my presence. You understand what I'm saying to you? When I walk into a Walmart or a Kroger or a TJ Maxx or a Ross or the bank, if there is one black man in the building, I should never be afraid. Because I know if some shit goes down, my brothers is going to come have my back. They going to be deep. It's going to be brothers from coming on all sides of the building. Like, nah, you not fucking with my sister. When we walk into a Walmart as people, we should be linking up without even actually saying anything to each other. Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? I was watching this lady. I forgot her name. I can't remember. I'll put her channel below or some of her videos below. And I'll put her name below. And she was saying in Africa, which has so many Israelites, going like this is saying basically acknowledgement, or saying I can't remember exactly what you say, but I'll link the video down below so you can see. But basically going like this is a sign of respect between people of our color, of our nation. So when we walk into a store, we need to be linking up without linking up. What's up? What's up? So we have a mental note of who's here. How many of us is here? How many, if some shit goes down, how many of us can protect each other? That ain't happening because people still selfish, yo. But the point of me getting on this video, on this camera, was to say, listen, y'all better be ready, because the takeover, or the attempt for the takeover, is real, and we're next. That's all I gotta say, y'all. Tribe, I appreciate y'all. I know I haven't uploaded a video in a minute, like a week and a half probably, so I appreciate y'all patience. Let me get out of here. Hope you guys are having an amazing day whenever you're watching this. I hope your Shabbat was amazing, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Shalawam.